up, man? It's your boy Tubbs, man. I'm out at the park chilling. I'm in my van. So a lot of times you'll see me give you a quick tour. You know, got the little bug curtains. But come out here, chill, watch TV. You know, just kind of relax and everything else. I still like them old books. You know, so I got my Lewis Lamar right there and my Sherlock Holmes book right there. So I still like to read and got my snacks and everything. So a lot of times, you know, when you see me do a lot of these videos, I'll come out and like I said, I'll chill in the van and, you know, leave the car, leave my truck at home. When I was gone, man, I always wanted something like this. You know, I could just kind of get out and just go wherever I wanted to go. And so, you know, you got, like, these are called stealth campers. If you notice, if the doors is closed, you can't even really tell it's a van until you, that you camp with, till you see the light up top. And, you know, but you got to have that, man. You got to have that fan. Because, man, in the summertime, you know, it'll get stifling, you know, hot in there. If you don't have shore power. If you got shore power, like I said, I got a 8,000 watt BTU air conditioner. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. And so I'm gonna sit out here and chill, and I'm gonna tell you another story. All right, so the name of this story is The Bitch Gonna Tell on You and You Gonna Regret It. Remember I told you that. That's what this girl named Nikki I was fooling with told me, right? So I had this dope house that was down north, and it wasn't really checking that much. When I say checking, it wasn't making that much money. It was doing cool, but, you know, nothing to kick up no dust about. But it was a living, you know, it was better than a 9 to 5 as far as I was concerned. So this chick I messed with named Nikki, she had a boyfriend. The boyfriend was a big drug dealer. I don't want to set him out, you know, and embarrass him and nothing like that, but she was messing with me on the side. So every other night, you know, she called me and be like, hey, you gonna pick me up? And I said, yeah, I'll meet you down at your mama's house. So her mama stayed down the hilltop, and I say, make that food, get me a meat lover's pizza. So I used to love Pizza Hut meat lover's pizzas. So she would always tell this dude to get her mama a pizza, but for real, the pizza was for me. So I sit back, and I had this burgundy Buick Century, had tinted windows. And so I just sit back, and I watch him drop her off, man, after he done took her shopping and everything. And after he take her shopping, she get out the bags, you know, he give her a kiss. It was so sweet and touching. But after she make it decide, she flicked the, she take the light switch and flick it, and, you know, let him know everything's all right. And then he pull off. So when he pull off, she get in the car. And as soon as she got in the car with the pizza, I'm like, God damn, bitch, take you so fucking long, man. Tell that motherfucking nigga, get the fuck out of here. Shit, motherfucking pizza getting called. And we go over to my apartment, you know, and I ain't got to tell you what happened after that. So, but she was real cool, man. And I got nothing but good things to say about her. He caught it one time, man, because one time I'm laying there and I got my seat back. And like I said, it had dark tinted windows. You couldn't tell inside. But somebody run my goddamn phone and it lit up inside. I seen him look over. I covered the phone up right quick. But he knew somebody was in that car. So he wasn't a complete fool. I mean, you know, after a while, you know, he realized every time he dropped her off, you know, that bucket was right there. I would call it bucket. That's the oldest car I had. I had a Vet, and what else did I have? I had a really nice truck. I had a Vet and a nice truck, but, you know, when I'm in the streets, man, I don't ride shit like that. That's like right now. You know, I got a nice truck, really pretty truck right now, and you don't even see me do videos in that, man. That don't mean nothing to me. If you notice when the intro come open, You'll see the cars and all that stuff, man. Man, that shit means less than nothing to me right now. You know, just being free and being able to do something like this, man. That right there means more to me. You know, just being able to get out and do some stuff that normal people do. But anyway, back to the story that I'm gonna tell you. So the chick I was messing with, Nikki, she and I was real cool. We had a clear understanding, because I'm a number 2 type of guy. Where I was then. I'm married now, and I'm actually married now. But like I said, back then I was a number 2 type of guy. So I ain't never like to be number 1 because I already know what time it is for that shit. I had too many girls on the side that had a number 1. So I met this other girl, right? But when I met this other girl, I met her through my dope house. But when she came in there, man, you could tell, man, this white girl, man, looked like she had a lot of money at one time. And I'm not talking about no little money, man, because the outfits and everything else that she wore, it wasn't cheap. She wore nothing but designer stuff, everybody can go out and get the Gucci bags and everything else. Me, myself, personally, I can't tell the real from the knockoff. I'm not that good at doing that, so I'm not going to pretend that. But she had a lot of, Carrot Cane outfits and the the name brand stuff, the really expensive outfits is what she had on. So, and then she had on, the top of the line, like the purses, shoes. You could tell at one time, this woman had money. So she had this dude with her, man, but he was scared as a motherfucker, man. He didn't smoke, but he was just with her. I guess he called himself gonna protect her or something. But when Nikki and I would be over there, she would be like, man, I don't know why you letting that bitch come over here. She ain't gonna do nothing but tell on you in the end. And remember, I told you that. So I wasn't trying to hear shit Nikki was talking about, man. All I know is, man, the broad was spending money, and I had a product, and I had to move. Shit, I was short. So, fuck it, sell it to her. So, anyway, one day she asked us, did we want to ride with her? Because she needed to go out and make some money, but she didn't have no car. I'm like, man, I ain't finna ride nobody around stealing and shit, man. Fuck all that. I ain't going to jail for no petty ass shit. She was like, no, I don't do that. I write checks. I'm like, fuck it, I give her a ride, shit, but I ain't going in there, shit. I ain't going to jail for those, like I said, for somebody else's hustle, shit. I got my own. So we get to where we going, and because of the fact I didn't understand why she took so much time to do her makeup and everything else, and she said, well, I gotta do it because when they look at me, they automatically don't even question the check. They just take it. They don't even run it through, nothing. They just look at her and cash the check. And sure enough, looks is for real. So they take the check, cash it, she go back to the spot, spend it all. So one day, I came up and got me an apartment. So after I got this apartment, I wanted to furnish the apartment, but I didn't want to spend the cash that I got. Because now, man, this broad is busting so many checks, she rolling thousands through the spot. So she say, you ain't got to spend your money. I can buy all that stuff, with checks. I said, oh yeah? She said, yeah. So we roll out and we go to these appliance stores. Sure enough, they don't even question her. We getting TVs, stereo systems, everything, man. The whole house looked like a warehouse. My apartment, man, it looked like a warehouse, man. It was just full of shit. And I remember, man, my grandma Tootie, man, she was real good to me, man. When I was in Leavenworth, she took every call, man. Every call they ever made, you know what I'm saying? I try not to run her up, but sometimes, man, I just want to talk to my kids, and she took the call, clicked over, called them. I try to not stay on the phone long. I don't want to take too much advantage of her, She didn't have a lot of money like that. And every chance I got, man, I always wanted to, give back to her. So I made sure that I took her over the biggest TV. And that's real talk. I ain't just saying it because I'm on the video, but I'm telling you, I took her the biggest TV that I had, and I took her the nicest stereo because I wanted her to have that. Hell, with the life I live, man, shit, that shit be gone, you know. Dumbass be in jail again, and I ain't gonna get to enjoy it. So I figured, you know, let her enjoy that shit. So anyway, back to the story. So we shopping and buying all this stuff, and a couple of times, you know, I had to drop, you know, the lady off, and she was further away. She was further away than it was Nikki. And I was like, Nikki, let me drop you off first. She was like, hell nah, motherfucker. You ain't dropping me off first. I know you. I know you. And I'm like, how you gonna trip with me and you got a motherfucking man, you know? And she said, nah, motherfucker. You drop that bitch off and then you come and drop me off. And so we had to go through this ritual until finally, man, I got tired of that fucking shit, man. Driving way out twice just to drop her off. I'm like, man, fuck that shit, man. You caught up like that shit, man. Nobody tripping on you or tripping on this brown like that. And so I started dropping Nikki off, and then I drop her off. But Nikki was right in the end, because, I mean, don't nobody make a pot of chili and don't sample it, you know? You ain't gonna, you know, you gonna test it, you know? She was fine, shit, you know? So a couple of times, I will admit that Nikki was right. So Nikki, when you see this, you was right. Yeah, I tapped that a couple of times. But anyway, we was out one day, and we went up to 7 Heaven. So we went to 7 Heaven, and they had it was a what do you call that? A radio video store up there on Troops. Man, been there forever since I was a kid. But somebody decided to put a furniture store downstairs. So we go down there. She wanted to get this futon for me, and I was like, shit, they gonna see you with me. They gonna give you that motherfucking futon. You know what I'm saying? They see what this thug ass motherfucker, you know? So I wait out in the car. She go down, get the futon. They don't even question the check. They let it go through. So I went in to go get some music. And when I did, she ran up to me and was like, oh, we got it. They gonna deliver it. And when she did, the sales dude, he looked over at her, he looked over at me, and he was like, oh, hell nah. You know, so immediately he checked that check. That shit didn't go through. What'd he do? He called the police. When he called the police, it was me, her, and Nikki was with me. So the police showed up. Man, the police was trying to get the salesperson to say that I was with her when she wrote the check, but the dude was adamant. He was like, no, he wasn't with her. She was by herself. He was by herself because he wanted to arrest me. Because, you know, he was like, man, I know you had something to do with this shit, which he was right, I did, but I wasn't with her. So me and him kind of locked horns and everything else. And Nikki was like, just get in the car. Let's just leave. Because I had a thing with police, you know. They always tried to, like, they was going to house me or something like that. And that's why I ended up shooting one of them and going to prison, you know. Because I already made up my mind, man. You ain't going to arrest me. Shit, I'll hold court in the middle of the fucking street. You know, you got me fucked up for real, you know. That's back in the days of my madness, but I'm good now, you know. I'm trying to be good anyway. So, anyway, back to the story again. So she turns around, and the whole time she get arrested, the whole time she keeps saying, "You gonna come and get me? You gonna come and get me out? You gonna come get me? You gonna come and get me out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, just shut the fuck up. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make that happen." So everything was going cool, and she said that she was gonna go ahead and help me. That's what Nikki said. And I was like, okay, I need to go bond this broad out. And she was like, bond her out for what? She ain't gonna do nothing to tell on you. And I told you, and you gonna regret it. So we get down there to try to bond her out, and they say, nah, she on a 48-hour hold or some shit. Nikki repeat herself again. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't want to leave her in fucking jail. But then I think about what Nikki told me. I'm like, shit, you know, what if she right? What if she do tell? So I dropped Nikki off. Man, I speed back to my apartment, right? When I get to the apartment, I start loading up all this shit, you know. Loading up all that shit, man. So I load it up and I take it back to the store. But soon as I get to each store, the salespeople be like, oh, hell no, I'm like, hold on, partner. I pull out a fat little stack. I said, man, I'm bringing this shit back, but I'm bringing it back for an upgrade. Because see, all that stuff was written, you know, on that check. I'm like, nah, man, I just want to take it back and I want to get a better model, man. I ain't worried about no money. So I peel off 100, throw it to the salesperson each time. And they're like, well, let me see what I can do to help you. So they take the TVs back and they charge me for the upgrade for a better model. They take the stereos back, they charge me for an upgrade for a better model. And this go on and on and on, man. By the end of the night, man, I was exhausted, man. I took everything in there back and did everything that I couldn't take back. Like I had a really nice toaster oven and things like that. You know, all that shit went to Grandma Tootie. So the house was clean as far as I was concerned. The only thing that I wouldn't give in on was this chessboard. And I like to play chess. So, and I got a nice chess game now too. And remember that, because I'll drag your ass through there if you ever get on that board with me. And that's real. But anyway, so I give in on everything else. But this chessboard, man, it was a glass chessboard. It was handmade, and it had these really, really nice pieces. And I always wanted a really nice chessboard like that. It was just always too cheap to buy one. So I was like, nah, I ain't taking that back. I'm keeping it. So a couple of days later, go by and I'm leaving out the apartment. When I leave out the apartment, as soon as I took one step, man, it was my PO. My federal PO was right there. So she had 3 police with her. One of them, you could tell, was like the lead detective, and I guess he had 2 flunky cops with him or whatever. When I say flunky, they wasn't as important as he was, because they was taking, you know, orders off of him and everything else. I guess if he would have told them to sweep the floor, they would have, you know, grabbed the broom. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So they asked me, could they search my apartment? And I said, yeah, you can search it. And because I figured exactly what happened. He said, well, good, because we got a warrant anyway. So he hold up his little warrant like he, you know, really got something off. So we step in the apartment or whatever, and we get in there, and I sit on the couch. So while I'm sitting on the couch, they going through all the appliances. You know, they going through the appliances. They got this checklist. And so as they going through the appliances, they read off the serial number. They said, no match. So then they go in the other room. They go to the TVs or whatever. They read, no match. So then they go to the stereo, no match. So I look down, and I see the chessboard. And it's ironic that I was sitting right there in front of the chessboard at the time. So I look on the side, and it had like a paper barcode on it. And I remember, man, she bought that chessboard, you know, with one of them hot checks. So I take my thumb, my nail right here, and every time they wasn't looking, I scrape, you know, try to get that barcode off. Now, it don't matter. I'm gonna keep it real. It don't matter. Man, they would have went through hell and high water trying to get that barcode. Even if they would have seen it, man, believe me, I would have got that motherfucker off and swallowed it before I let them get it. I'm saying, well, I went to jail, but I'm trying to do it in a smoother way than that. So I take and every time the dude ain't looking, you know, they look back at me and I be still. So finally, man, I worked that barcode off the side of that fucker. So I got it off the chessboard and I put it in my mouth. The whole time I put it in my mouth, I'm chewing it, but I'm taking my teeth right here and I'm biting it and biting it and biting it and biting it, and I'm chewing it up. I'm just chewing it up like it's gum, chewing it up, chewing it up, chewing it up. And then finally, one of the little flunkies, man, he look back, look up at me, see me chewing something, and he say, the chessboard, you know? They run over there, man. They run over there, dive at the chessboard. Pieces go every fucking where, man. They grab the board, man. I act like I'm a reach for it, man. Grab the fucker out, you know? So when they get through, they looking it up and down. And the guy look at me, man. He is heated. He heated, boy. He mad motherfucker. They spent all this time looking for this shit, and they can't find no evidence against me. So they look the chessboard up and down. So he look at me finally, and when he finally look at me, he say, "Where's the serial number for this chessboard. And I pull it out my mouth and I hand it to him. It looked like some gum. Somebody chewed on about 5 days. I put it on the table. And I say, there it is. See if you can get the number out for that. So he took the chessboard, slung it across the room and everything else. Said, come on, let's get the F out of here, right? So he leaves, and the PO asked me, she said, where did you get all the money for this stuff? Because when I got arrested for the feds, you know, they took quite a bit of money out of me and off of me. And I actually had $92,000 that was in that car. So I'm gonna set this out now. And they chased me down that night, beat the crap out of me after they handcuffed me, and they only turned in $78,000. They split. They kept on giving each other $2,000 after they laughed, after they Rodney King my ass. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's another story for another day. So I told her, I said, I never tell you that when the feds got me, they got all my money. They got most of my money. They really did. But they didn't get every dime that I had. And so when I got out the feds, by the time I did my bit, man, shit, I was damn near broke, man. I was down to $5,000 to my name. And I know a lot of people say, well, that ain't broke, but believe me, man, you got to get out and try to get an apartment and get on your feet and everything else, man. I looked up, man, buy some clothes. That little money was gone. So the bottom line of it is, you know, I just want Nikki to know that she was right, man. The bitch did tell on me. And you told me so. So anyway, that's the end of that story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like, subscribe, and comment, you know. I really appreciate, you know, all the support that y'all giving me, man. I like to keep doing the stories, so thank you. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
What you know about doing hard time in the lockup? No appeal and your baby mama knocked up. You only win with a five when you gotta survive. You better have some hands to get knotted up. Seeing friends turn to foes, you can't trust nobody. Every day is a test and you gotta have heart. And you gotta be smart and you can't be a mark. And a blame to your heart.
Welcome to TubbsTV.